If you're loving this, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share the love.
In the Lord's Prayer, we ask, "Lead us not into temptation." This line is a request for protection, a plea for God's guidance to avoid situations that might lead us away from His will and purpose. When we pray this, we're acknowledging our own vulnerability to temptation. We know that life is filled with distractions and trials that can lure us into choices that distance us from God. We ask for strength to resist these influences, to stay true to the path of righteousness. Interestingly, the phrase doesn't mean God tempts us. James chapter 1 verse 13 reminds us that God does not tempt anyone. It reads, "When tempted, no one should say, 'God is tempting me,' for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does He tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death." This passage emphasizes that temptation arises from within us, from our own desires. God, being holy, never seeks to lead us into harm. Instead, temptation exploits our weaknesses, gradually pulling us down a path we never intended. Instead, we are asking Him to guide our steps, so we avoid situations that might lead us to sin. It's a request for wisdom, to see the warning signs of potential dangers, and to take another path. Temptation often appears attractive, yet it leads us into deeper struggles. When we ask, "Lead us not into temptation," we're inviting God to be our shepherd, steering us clear of spiritual harm. This prayer becomes a commitment to lean on God's strength, not just our own. So, the next time you say, "Lead us not into temptation," remember, it's not about avoiding challenges. It's a humble plea to stay close to God's guidance, walking in His light, even when life's path gets hard to see.